My problem with that is women are adults, and I expect some accountability.
Facts. Come on.
And while I understand why we got there, right? What systems were in place to get women there, I understand that. But it's super frustrating inside of a relationship because, again, that woman that uses that sexualness.
No, that man that wants it. Not the woman that uses it, the man that said that this is what accountability looks like to me.
That is it.
Yeah.
It's us.
Babe, I don't want you to get me anything for my birthday. I want you to come and give me some head. I don't want anything for Valentine's Day. Just show up in your birthday suit.
And
just
when
how I like it.
And
when you upset me, you know that's gonna cost you like 2 weeks with no questions asked, right?
What we're gonna do, first of all, yes, I believe inside relationships, women will use sex as a form of punishment and will reward. Period.
True.
And so that does groom a man, and I know that women know that happens.
Yeah.
So when you're putting a man, when you're even inside marriages, some women would put their man on like a sex restriction. You did something, and what I'm saying is, you know what that is doing, and so there is some manipulation in that, and when we don't acknowledge that, and then we say, well, that's because that's what you groomed. That's the point of this conversation. There's no accountability because that is essentially wrong
on both sides.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I don't think that that's right to do. I'm not gonna ask y'all, have y'all ever done it? But that stuff happens in relationships. Like, yeah, you feel like you don't need to apologize because you know what? I'm gonna just give him some. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put it on him, and then that's gonna be my apology. I'm gonna come cooking some eggs. Hey, you want some eggs and shit?
I am a person who values apologies. I value communication. So with your mouth, I need you to apologize to me, and in return, I'm going to apologize. But if in this relationship, this man values sex at that level for every little thing. It's like if you're dating a woman and she values money and gifts and she does something wrong and she's not necessarily apologizing for it, you're going to withhold the money and the gifts and the treats and the trinkets and all those things. If I'm in a relationship with a man whose sex solves all the problems, then yeah, I mean, it's not right, but that's the manipulation tactic that's hell. If you told me I need to hear it out of your mouth, verbally, apology, and that's the language that we've communicated to each other because that's what you value, that's what I'm going to give you. But oftentimes men
that
do
is
what
not
you
what
just
you
said.
gonna give me.
And that goes past value because a lot of times it's not just that the sex is valuable. A lot of men don't know how to say that. They feel fear to even be able to say that. A lot of times y'all know that as women that we are defunct in a lot of ways in communicating these things. So there does need to be like a little bit more coming to our side of things to understand he probably not gonna say it to me, so I need to spark this conversation.
Yeah. But to Donnie's defense, isn't that a you issue?
Absolutely.
Isn't that?
Absolutely.
See, let me say something about
women going into these relationships knowing that.
But before,
why don't couples talk about what apology should look like?
I don't know about couples. You know what I'm saying? I know some possibly do. However, in that scenario, if she's thinking that withholding sex is going to get her a better outcome and that's how she controls her man, then you can expect her man to figure it out another way. Don't play with me. You dig what I'm saying? Don't play with me. Play with somebody else. You dig what I'm saying? Because that's only going to put me in a position to figure it out some other way, right? Because I have, as a husband, you have committed yourself to this woman for the rest of your life. And for her to try and withhold something like that and think it's no big deal, that's fine. Play those games if you want to. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right? You dig what I'm saying? Like, that's all I really got on that. And if she can't understand that, if she thinks that's equivalent to a man withholding, what did she say? Getting her hair done or
money and trinkets.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Money and trinkets, then that's the bigger problem. Then you're obviously in this for the wrong reasons. Because if you think your sex is more beneficial to you than my sex is to you, then we have a problem, right? If you think that's a reward for me and not something that we both enjoy, then to me, that is a problem, right? You dig what I'm saying? But, you know, that's something that they like to think because what women are taught coming up is they're the prize. They're taught that that is the most precious gift that they can give a man and so on and so forth. And why that may be true to some extent, that's not something that once you're in a partnership, that I hate that term, but if you're in a marriage, that's not something that you should be looking at. that should be something for the both of you. But if you think you're going to withhold that as some sort of punishment, then I feel like it's only going to cause more stress and strife. And it should be that way. If you are going to withhold that as some sort of payment, then whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I think it's the statement is based on just manipulation from both sides when it comes to money or the sex. So you actually never really solve a problem. You just learn how to manipulate each other on the surface to where you all are just playing around. You're not essentially getting anywhere. You're just going in circles, being toxic, and not actually having the tough conversations it takes for you to get to the next level. So in actuality, neither one of you are really being serious if those are the tools that you're willing to use in order to get what you want.
What I'm saying is, let's stick on women. And that's the point that I'm trying to say. Every time we talking about women taking more accountability, it always flip back on what we need to be doing. Instead of women saying, you know what, it may be not right to use this sex thing as a tool in this aspect, right? Maybe it's not right for me to, when he is trying to communicate, to try to shift blame, throw it back on you, maybe cry, minimize. Maybe it's not right that I find that maybe he apologizes 10, 20 times more than I do in this relationship. And if that is not a self-assessment, because I don't believe women are children, I believe they're adults and they're functional adults in these relationships. And I believe, my opinion, that sometimes some women pick and choose when they want to be equal partners. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so maybe the question is to the men, right? Is what does accountability look like to y'all from us, so that we have a better understanding of what that is? Because for some women who are deeming accountability as sexual acts, maybe in her idea of however she was groomed, that's her belief of what she's in alignment with. But maybe the communication is, okay, so, what does accountability look like for you, baby? Is it an apology? Is it a long, effective, communicative, conversation? Is it sex? What is it, so that woman is communicating your apologetic language and not just whatever her idea is? Because if she had no father or she had no man who can give her the guidance, then she is coming in with the blank canvas, and it is your responsibility to at least communicate that to her. This is what works for me. And if she's willing to put that effort in, I think that is just called a healthy relationship.
For the sake of this argument, we're gonna act as if my apology language isn't head, because it really is. But for the sake of this,
You can't go back to that after
for the sake of this conversation,
You are that guy that I'm talking about. You're not playing though.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Okay, so then what is your apology language? What is your apology language?
Man, just
That's a great question, by the way.
So,
my apology language is just actually apologizing. And here's the thing. I think I found that even in the way I operate, I'll apologize for things I don't know if that I'm not truly sorry for. Hear me out, but I think a lot of men get here. Just hear me out. Maybe y'all can relate, maybe y'all not.
Okay.
I'll find something in this dilemma that I could have done better. And I'll just find that to say, hey, listen, you're right, man. Like, I apologize because this I could have did better, blah, 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 blah. I'll find that because I know this is a person I care about and they have a real concern. And I don't want to leave this without giving something that I can improve on with this critique. What I am saying is, I want somebody as eager to find something in my issue to give me an apology on.
But what does the apology?
What does accountability look like to you?
One thing about accountability, bro, I feel like it's usually a one-way street, depending on what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, let's just keep it real. Men are the ones that have to be held accountable. We have to admit that our wrongdoings, what we would do differently going forward, and so on and so forth. However, on the opposite side of the spectrum, that's not necessarily something that is highly publicized for them. A lot of women don't have to admit their wrongdoings.
Well, the question I'm asking is, like, what does it look like to you when a woman is accountable? What does it look like to you?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure, bro. You know what I'm saying? They don't.
I think you answered it.
It's not something that they normally give, right? That's not something that you normally see. So that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. A lot of times they won't physically say it, they'll just change their behavior, right? They'll just try and act like, oh, they'll show you they're sorry, but saying it is something completely different. You dig what I'm saying? They're not going to say, oh, I apologize. I hold myself accountable for what I've done. That wasn't right. Let me change that. They'll just try and act different. You dig what I'm saying? That's what I mean. It's not something that they necessarily say. They may show it, but they don't necessarily say it.
But you said it before. You said how you. I think Marcus was going to say this. You said it before. Accountability for you is a changed behavior.
Yeah.
So that's what you said before. So that is what accountability is to you, right? Is that
that's
right?
What I'm saying. Then they may not ever say it. They may not ever
Right. That wasn't
"Oh,
the
I'm
conversation.
sorry," or "I was wrong," or whatever the case may be. They just may change that behavior.
Right. That's what we're saying. We're talking about. He was asking us specifically, what is ours, not necessarily of women. But so we got yours. So mine is what I've stated prior. Accountability to me is communicating what I saw was wrong, and us having a conversation about what would this look like differently next time, so that we can avoid this. Because I believe, and it may be because of being in education, maybe, is that if I just say that I'm sorry, and I say and I try to change the behavior, well, is it the behavior that they were looking for? Was it the behavior that I was looking for? If I don't talk about how could we have avoided this conversation, or how could we have avoided this event or situation, however you want to put it. So I would say for me, it's to have and it may be long-winded because I'm long-winded. I'm only short because JR tell me I got to be short here, right? But I would say let's have a conversation about how this could have been, and so that we can avoid this situation next time. And then when this is also the other part, when you see them change, make sure you let them know, hey, I see that you did this differently than before. I really appreciate that. That's another part of the leadership aspect that I think that men don't do as well as we could.
For me, I would say it's the understanding, and then the consistency is what I look for. So if someone is not consistent, it's kind of hard for me to think that they understand, but they just don't care. So either way, I need to see you being consistent in what it is that we discuss, to really say that you was accountable for it. And if they bring it up to you, sometimes you gotta be patient. Sometimes people need time to process some things, and when you lay it out, it's nothing like when they come back and they apologize. But if they go back and still do same set behavior, it's just like, damn, motherfucker, you just don't. It's just hard for you it's hard to get through you, because sometimes women battle with change. It may be a people thing, but I don't deal with people. I deal with women most of the time. So, because the men that's in my life is they who they are. I don't have new people just coming in and out. But when you deal with women, the thing that I notice is that I think they want to, they have good intentions, but sometimes it's just hard for them. It's like it's a battle that they're fighting, and sometimes you just gotta, okay, go ahead and fight your battle. It just won't be with me.
Childlike.
I know you want to put them in that category as children, but
I was just bringing it. That's the callback. That's the callback from what we talking about tonight.
Yeah.
If I had that clip, I would have played it. That nigga, that nigga gay nigga. When you was like, I'll deal with mostly women most of the time. If I had the clip, I would have pressed it on you right there.
Yeah.
But you cleaned it up. All right. Yeah. So my definition is similar to Law and Humble Dead. It's acknowledging that you did something wrong. The outright apology, it's hit or miss. If I'm looking for it, I get it, but I'm not really specifically looking for it. My thing is on the next go round, like y'all said, how the behavior, because I care about how your brain works, not so much what you're doing, but how you formulate the logic behind why you do what you do. And if I ask you to do something and you're doing it, and then you decide that you're gonna do something else just out the blue, you need to have better results than what I told you to do, or I'm gonna hold you completely accountable for everything moving forward. Now that you done went off track, and that could be the end of the relationship.
Yep.
So I'm gonna stand on that. I really will stand on that. Like, just you could be messing up and doing it wrong if you was doing what I asked you to do and you did it wrong. Because then I could say, well, shit, that's on me too.
Yeah.
I thought this was the solution and it didn't work. But you decided to do what you wanted to do, and you want me to share in them consequences? No, sir. No, ma'am.
Yeah.
About your business.
I think for us, it can be really simple, just acknowledgement and effort. Like, it doesn't even need to be a long, drawn out active service or trying to get crazy in the bedroom, anything like that. You just acknowledging, letting me know that what you did was, against the boundary, and going forward, you're going to try to change that. And an immediate action to try and change that is almost even better, because it's kind of showing immediate effort to you essentially trying to placate me, but at the same time, you letting me know you get the picture and we're not going to have to go back there again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Corey, I know you've been kind of quiet, Mira. I don't know if you want to add something to the conversation.
So is your question asking us ideally how do women take accountability? Like, how do we think they should, or how do they in reality?
I got a whole separate question for you, and then we're going to get you on track, Corey.
Let's go.
Why do men apologize more but feel less understood?
Say that one more time.
Why do men apologize more but feel less understood?
Because society tell us we supposed to be honest. It's almost like when you know the woman wrong, but you just not gonna argue with her because you know everybody else gonna call you a bitch ass nigga. So you just be like, all right, you got it. You know what I'm saying? You got it. My bad.
You talking about on the panels or like a relationship?
I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about in general. I'm just talking about in general. If you have a disagreement with a woman, it could be in a relationship, your friend. You could have a platonic relationship. It could be your sister, anybody. Am I off? Is y'all not understanding what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, who
No, I do. I was curious because I know, like, even on the panel, some stuff I'm not about to argue with. I'd be like,
who would be the person that do you?
But in person, I'm not letting it go. Yeah, no, I was saying that on the panel, I'll let something go because one, these women not in my authority for real to even give a punishment that they would care about. But in person, yeah, I'm not about to allow the argument to occur. Like, one, we not arguing. You're gonna address me and talk to me with some respect and I to you. But,
well, yeah, okay, yeah.
other,
I wasn't talking in a perspective of a relationship. I was just talking about, I was just talking about in general. In a relationship, it's not. I'm not arguing. It's not we can have a conversation, but I'm not going back and forth. Like, I learned my lesson, bro. It's no point in arguing for real. Because even your girl not gonna call you a bitch ass nigga, but once you start doing a whole bunch of feminine shit, she not gonna even respect you. You going back and forth with her. Because the thing is, man, it sucks because men be tricked into the argument, and she trick you into the argument. But after you argue with her, she gonna perceive you as a bitch ass nigga. But she tricking you into the argument. It's almost like a test for real, and she don't even know she testing you. She just feel different about you afterwards. But yeah.
So that's dangerous, dog. I'm not gonna argue with any heifer just on GP. She's not worth it. I don't give a damn if she agree with me or not. You don't have to ever agree with me.
No, but see, when I was talking about when they say bitch ass nigga, when I say, like, I'm just talking about in general. How could I say this? You could have a disagreement. Say you're at work or somewhere. Say you at work. I was just having this conversation yesterday with somebody. just like perfect example. He was telling me, I live in Detroit. I'm gonna make it short. Him and his wife got a company. His wife wear a heart costume. Another lady in the city, she wear a heart costume and show up to people. Two totally different things. She hop in a DM talking crazy. I said, bro, that's a woman. You don't even got no, don't even just, you know what I'm saying? You ain't even, don't even do it. It don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? She talking crazy, exit out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It could be something that don't have to do with no relationship. It could just be something that's out in the world. Men are just taught to say, you got it, you know, because you're gonna be perceived like a bitch ass nigga.
So hold on, you talking about some random woman jumps in your DM just start to argue with you?
Oh damn. Okay, I was trying to make it short, but all right, hold on. I said that there's a couple that owns a business in the city that I live in of Detroit. It's like a mascot business. She wears like a heart costume. There's another lady in the city that wears the heart costume also and shows up to people's event.
Yeah, I mean, so he was just basically telling his guy not to go respond to that person, the other person, right?
Did my internet go up?
No, I was saying you was basically saying, trying to tell your guy not to go respond to the other girl that was doing the same thing.
Yeah, just basically like I was telling him like she a girl, bro. Like don't worry about it. She gonna be worried about.
He wanted to go check her. He wanted to go check her for doing the same exact thing that what his girl was doing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. She was talking about she gonna sue them and all of that in a DM, calling them all type of names and stuff. And I'm just like, bro, don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. She posting them. You know how that social media stuff go. You know how girls do it, bro. I'm like, man, just leave that shit alone. But that's just an example that I was trying to. And I'm sorry for making it long-winded. I ain't trying to. But that's an example of how in society, men just got to be like, you got it. Whether you apologize or not, you just retreat because you got it. I'm not gonna argue with you. Whether you forget about being called a bitch ass nigga, it's you got it. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. You got it. And psychologically, when men repeatedly do that to them, it can be perceived to them that they're right.
So the question was, why do men apologize more but feel less?
I said it from the.
No, it's nothing with you. I was just repeating the question for the panel.
Okay.
So you doing exactly what you was telling your boy not to do.
Men apologize more. Because
why do men apologize more but feel less understood?
Men apologize more because it doesn't fucking matter as much. We just want you to change your behavior. You know what I'm saying? Going back to what I said. We apologize more. It's easy for us to be like, all right, cool, listen. Chill out. Stop doing this. We're going to do this. We're going to move past it because it's something minute. As a man, I feel like I have a whole lot more things that are more pressing and more important to me right now than to how you got an attitude. I'm a father of 4 with 3 daughters and I got a wife. That means I got 4 female attitudes in my household at any given time. You think I give a damn about what you mad at? Get over it. We're going to keep it moving. That's that. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I will literally ignore your attitude until you decide it's over with. I will walk past you. You can have your attitude, this, that, and the other. It's not going to matter because I know you'll get over it, right? Because we have more important things that need to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? Like living each day with each other. My children, listen, y'all gonna get over it. Y'all might be mad now because whatever the hell, you broke a nail Tuesday. Guess what? You'll get over it by Wednesday. You dig what I'm saying? Like, those are not real problems that are going to really affect our overall being. So let's get back to what's important. You get over your attitude or your temporary problem, your temporary issue, and let's keep it moving. And I mean, it may sound callous, but it is what it is. That's just how I feel.
I'm sorry.
I know when I did this stuff, I apologize because I'm just tired of going back and forth. I ain't got time for this shit. I just want to be done and over with. I don't want to keep talking about this. It's obvious we have to agree to disagree. It's obvious we can't get bypass this bullshit. So I'm just done talking. I'm apologize and keep it moving. Now, you know, get a little age on you, get a little season on you. You kind of move and operate differently now that I did then. We're gonna have the conversation, but okay, let's talk on cooler head well, because if not, I'm gonna say some shit I know I'm gonna regret later, and I ain't trying to do all that. So when you cool, I'm cool, and we can cool when talk respectfully, then let's have the conversation. Until then, let's just we're not gonna talk about it. Not until we are both ready and comfortable enough to have a respectful conversation. That's the mode I'm in now. Before I would just apologize and get shit over with, because I don't want to stay up all night hearing you complain about the same bullshit that I don't agree with.
Yeah, so this is what I think the question is asking, is that why do men apologize more but feel less understood? I think that those things are not mutually exclusive, like they're not intertwined in that regard. A man apologizes, similar to what Hink said, to avoid the conversation or to get the conversation over with, right? So as a result, then that means that when you didn't have the conversation, right? So if we just getting it over with, then there is nothing to work out, to figure out. Yes, you may get over your feelings. However, this situation is going to happen again. And because it has not had a conversation about it, it's going to occur again. Okay. So I would say that they would be mutually exclusive if the man had the conversation, if he apologized and then had the conversation, and then there was not a transition of change. Now I feel not understood, right? But if I'm apologizing and not having the conversation, then what is there for her to understand, right? So I'm saying to do what Hink said and what I said before. The number one reason why people get a divorce, I know I speak from a marriage mindset, so the reason why is typically communication, and why everything else fell by the wayside, even if it was infidelity, it was because of communication was not done effectively. So once again, the man don't need to say, oh, okay, never mind, right? You need to be like, okay, not right now. We need to come back to this conversation because both of us are not able to have this is hard for me, but this is what the right thing is to do, right? That we need to let cooler heads prevail, and then we need to come back and talk about how we can make this better, and and not revisit the argument, but talk about what you could have done differently and what I could have done differently. And then you look to see what you said, JR, which is there consistency in the change that we talked about? And then I feel more, then that man would feel more understood. But if she rejects and is not consistent, then I can see why he feels misunderstood. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I never was one to really apologize at all. I didn't give a care. I didn't give a damn. Until I started to understand that people feel. So even though it may not be your intent, that doesn't negate the fact that they feel a certain type of way. And the only time this really matters is people that's under you, for whatever reason, whether you dating, marriage, then you kind of factor those things in. You're just not just factoring this in just for any and everybody, but people that you have a relationship with, whether it be work, marriage, kids, you have to listen to what it is that they're saying because they feel a certain type of way. So my goal now is to try to get to the root of why they feel this way, because they feel it for a reason. You may not intentionally be doing something, but that doesn't change the fact that they feel it. So then you go down the rabbit hole to trying to seek understanding. I also think that even though you apologize, there has to be some form of leadership at that point. You have to be able to continue to guide past the apology, because you can apologize for whatever it is that they felt. And you say, well, it wasn't my intent, but you got to still be able to lead past that to be able to guide it a certain way, because that's what's needed most of the time when you find yourself in those situations. Because I mean, people, you can't stop people from feeling. They're gonna feel what they feel. And that's why I think you have to kind of set the tone. I've been in conversations where I wanted to give up in the conversation. And I just want to say fuck it. Cause I don't feel like dancing. But you got to get uncomfortable to be able to grow and be able to realize the importance of having great communication. You got to lead with communication because that's going to set the tone for how things need to go. So even though you may not feel comfortable, you still do it because logically it makes sense because of the outcome and the output. And sometimes it may look like this. It may look like coming back saying, hey, I know things are heated right now. And I said what I said, that's the way I feel. But the goal is for us to be able to come out like this. I heard what you said. I'm going to be honest, I don't like what you said. I really want to kind of shut down and say, I don't give a fuck. But you're important to me. You feel this way. I want to try to make sure you don't feel this way. And we kind of go from there. So you have to be able to take control and seize the moment when it comes to this communication barrier and try to see if you can kind of sort it through. So I don't mind apologizing. I don't give a fuck. If I was wrong about something or if it was misunderstood, I ain't gonna apologize. It's just a fucking apology. What the hell is that gonna do? But I think it has more impact than you realize because you acknowledge it. And so don't apologize. I think you apologizing and then saying why you apologize, I think it holds a little bit more weight. But see it all the way through because they don't just stop there. There's a lot of things to really unpack in a direction that this conversation needs to go. So you got to be able to see it through. And sometimes you may not understand the meaning of it until you actually see it through. Because then I think you can control the ending. At the end of that conversation or that disagreement, you guys should still be on some type of page. Like y'all shouldn't be off the grid. Y'all shouldn't be going to bed mad. Y'all shouldn't be. You make sure that you redirect that and you be consistent with that because you don't. I think it's up to you. You can't. If you're gonna be a leader, you got to understand that this shit falling on your ass. Goddamn it! Like you got to be able to see it all the way through, and you don't understand the respect level. It shouldn't even be a thought whether you should do this or not. It's just got to be done because you can't count on this person to see it through it, especially if you take on that leadership role. There's no second thought. This is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm gonna lead us, and this is the outcome that's gonna be. And you got to be able to stand on that shit.
Let's go, P. I like that.
You need to clip that. You need to clip that. I'll expect that soon.
Yeah. Let's go, bro. I like that.
Yeah.
And I agree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that. I agree. You know what I'm saying? You know, we get in our, we tend to get a little emotional with each other. You know what I'm saying? And drop off from speaking to each other for months, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't always agree. But that's something that I can absolutely agree on. You know what I'm saying? We do need to do. Just kind of take a step back, listen to each other, and see what's to it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. The thing is that I tell people I'm human. I feel shit too. You don't think it's been times that I want to go off? You don't think it's been times I want to slap a motherfucker?
Like when, bro? Tell us about it.
Hey, these are just feelings, man. What I'm saying because we human. But I think before you get out of your body, I think you got to control it. And that's where the discipline comes, and that's where the growth happens, is because you understand that you do feel these things, but you're going to make sure that you don't have to come back you don't want to make a fool of yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I say ask questions. And people know if you talk to me, I'm gonna ask some more questions. I'm gonna try to get as much data input as I can before I look like a damn fool. You don't want to.
I done called you on multiple occasions when I done had some of my toughest, like online situations. I'm like, hey, bro, what you think? You dig what I'm saying? So I get it, bro.
I mean, those impulse decisions, you got to think about, can you come back from this? And some things you can't come back if you're acting off impulse. So that's why I like to kind of think things do. But I tell my son, and I'm gonna end it with this and play a little bit more clip and then we get up out of here. But I tell my son, it's okay to feel, but it's important on where the energy goes after that feeling, because you don't want to do something that you're gonna regret, something that you got to apologize for when you knew better. You don't want to jump the gun, look like that damn fool. I'd rather you sit back and collect data like the FBI. That's what the FBI do. FBI, I've seen you do some shit, but let me get as much as I can before I nail your ass. And that's the way that you got to be. If you're gonna act, at least get the most information as you can before you respond, before you act, and then I think you could be a little more cocky in that moment. But if you're just acting off of every little thing, off impulse, it's like you're gonna find yourself in look like a damn fool. You're gonna be called a simp. You're gonna be called controlling. You're gonna be called argumentative. The list goes on. So be patient in the moments, and you would get a lot more information. Be silent. You can still feel. You can collect the data. You can think certain things, but just collect it and then come to your conclusion. That's one of the best advice that I can give somebody.